Okay, so here's another goofy story that might be kind of fun to talk about. Check this out, dudes. This guy, Charlie Kirk, got banned from Twitter. This is the tweet that got him blocked. Well, he posted this tweet and then they said, take this down or we're gonna block your account. And I guess he wouldn't take it down. Pennsylvania just rejected 372,000 mail-in ballots. One voter was said to have submitted 11 duplicate ballots. Oh my God, they're doing so much cheating. Pennsylvania might be the key to winning the White House. What's going on? So that's what got him banned. Before we get into this, I just wanted to read you a little bit about this dude, because this is an interesting character. This guy, eventually, maybe 10 years from now, 15 years from now, they'll make a movie about this guy. Whoever directed American Psycho, reach out to Charlie Kirk. Maybe you could get the book rights or whatever. Okay, so this is what he does. He runs this organization called Turning Points USA, and here's a little bit about it. Dark money for right-wing student government candidates. And this is about Turning Points USA. A report by the Chronicle of Higher Education detailed what it called Turning Point USA's stealth plan for political influence. The report alleges that the organization funneled money to certain candidates for student government in violation of the administrative rules of various schools across the country. The report was in line with Turning Point USA's Campus Victory Project, which sought to commandeer the top office of student body president. So they get a lot of dark money to do this kind of stuff. Here's another interesting little piece. Ties to the fossil fuel industry. Charlie Kirk has engaged in fundraising at closed-door meetings of the National Mining Association and the Independent Petroleum Association of America. Turning Point USA has also written numerous publications and organized student activities in support of the fossil fuel industry. One such publication was titled 10 Ways Fossil Fuels Improves Our Daily Lives. I mean, I guess that's technically true because you can drive a car with fossil fuels. The problem is that it's gonna make us not be able to live lives on the planet for too much longer. Probably left that part out, which you tend to do when you get a bunch of money from the fossil fuel industries and the Koch brothers, who they also work with, who are known for giving their fossil fuel money to these weird right-wing groups. And, okay, before we go any further, I feel like I've said this on this channel a million times, but, like, these Koch brother guys inherited tons of money. They inherited tons of money and tons of assets. There's this thing, I think it's in Norway. Is it Norway? Look it up. They started offshore oil drilling, basically, and they found that they had a ton of oil. And they nationalized the oil company and invested that money that they made from the oil profits into other companies, but they were like, we're not going to invest in fossil fuels. We know that this is not sustainable. We know that we're making a lot of money off of this, but we're going to invest it in a way that hopefully we can get away from it. At least that's the way that they're presenting it. With these guys, there's none of that. It's just like, we need to keep doing oil forever. And it's just like, why don't you do something else? You have all this money, go invest it in something else. Like, what? It really is, I think, just laziness and stupidity. Oh, another thing I was going to say about, like, guys like the Koch brothers, it's like they could do, I mean, they inherited all this, you know, wealth and assets. Like, why not do something more interesting than just, like, these brain deadening, like, just life-sucking right-wing groups like Charlie Kirk. Like, you could do whatever you want. Every door is open to you because of your wealth, and this is what you choose to do. Unbelievable. They should be stripped of every dollar because of this. Here's a video of this absolute psycho on his, like, YouTube channel, I guess. Let's check this, which, is he banned from this too? I don't know. Let's check this out.
For those of you that say, well, it really doesn't impact me, I don't care if Trump goes to prison. Well, first of all, you absolutely should care. Because if we lose, they're going to come after the churches, they're going to come after the organizations, they're going to come after the people, they're going to come after the social media accounts, they're going to come after the bank accounts, they're going to come after every single person that played any form and role into trying to defend President Trump. But social media banning, following in the streets, targeting in every form and fashion. If we lose, if the president loses, they will come for us all. They will come for your children. They will come for your schools. They will come in every fashion.
Okay, so if you have a little bit of life experience and kind of social intelligence and emotional intelligence, you can see this for what it is instantly. This is a guy who gets paid a lot of money by some shady organizations, some shady characters, right? And if you've ever worked a job, you know that there's people like this, like Charlie Kirk, who are like, I don't care about the morality of what I'm doing. I'm not really going to look into the details of what I'm doing. I'm making so much money that I'm going to sell whatever they're telling me to sell as hard as I possibly can so that they see me as an asset and they keep me around so I can keep deep throating that money. You know what I mean? That's what this is.
Well, I'm currently locked out of Twitter, so you mentioned tweeting something out. I can't currently do that. I'm kind of in a hostage situation right now with Twitter. I have 1.8 million followers on Twitter. Axios said we have one of the most engaged Twitter accounts on the planet. And right now, I do not have access to my Twitter account because I tweeted a widely reported story 19 hours ago that changed a couple hours later. And Twitter then comes to me and they say, we're going to not deactivate, but lock out your account unless you delete this story. And it was around the Pennsylvania ballot request story.
Okay. So there he's he's even admitting that he got it wrong. I mean, first of all, I went back, I looked at this, at the timeline for this. The only places that seem to be really believing his side of the story. Oh, there's all this voter fraud happening. We're like weirdo fringe Facebook pages and stuff like that. So he's admitting he's wrong. He's like, look, the story changed. So they're like, okay. Twitter's like, okay, we don't want people lying on our thing, especially people who are lying to a huge audience, an audience that was bought a lot from advertising, from dark money. We don't want that on our platform. Take it down or you're going to get a ban. I mean, again, for the people who think corporations are people and should have that kind of freedom, pretty reasonable.
Now, mind you, Steve, things are constantly changing in the news cycle. Why should Twitter have the power to be able to silence my entire 1.8 million person audience just because a news story changes and I tweeted something that was absolutely and completely widely reported at the time? And Steve, we are seeing right now that big tech has become the enforcement and the communication arm of the Biden campaign and the Democrat.
So yeah, this is probably, I mean, it's so funny. It's such a kind of cynical manipulation. But what's probably going on here is that they knew this would be a little martyr story. Get his Twitter account taken down for a couple days or whatever, and then he'll go to Twitter. He'll be like, okay, I'll take it down. I'll take it down. I already got my little martyr story out there. I got a little buzz, got a little spike, and he did get a spike. I mean, look. Part of the reason that I found out about this is because it's trending. So his little scam worked. So hey, Twitter, I say call the bluff. Don't give him his Twitter account back and just totally deplatform this idiot. Just no more, not allowed on YouTube anymore. No more ads from the Koch brothers. None of this stuff. Just totally, this guy, you're at Target one day and he's like ringing you up because he's like, well, they won't let me advertise anymore.
If you're a socialist or a Democrat watching this right now, or an independent, it should bother you that a multi-trillion-dollar conglomeration of companies have the power to be able to silence opinions they do not like. It is undemocratic, it is anti-American, and every single person that believes in a free society should be outraged and, quite honestly,
I mean, yeah, I do kind of agree with that. I don't agree with it for him because he's a professional liar. So, in general, I don't care about him getting deplatformed. But in general, like, yeah, if they're able to kind of throw these guys off, it probably does mean that they're going to be able to throw anybody off. So that's not a problem for me because I believe they should be public utilities and there should be some kind of appeals process. And generally there should be municipal broadband and stuff like that. I think internet should be a very democratic, it should be treated as the vehicle for free speech or whatever. But these guys don't really believe that. So now it's like they're stuck in this, I mean, they don't care. I mean, there's no like consistency to their beliefs. I mean, they're just paid to say stupid nonsense. But, you know, it's complicated, but I do think there should be some check on just straight up lying to people about something as, in theory, important about elections and stuff like that, because he's straight up just tricking people. You know, I mean, it's basically fraud what he's doing. So there should be some limit on that. But I do agree that it is how freedom of speech is practiced. That doesn't mean that it's totally Wild West free for all, though. So yeah, in general, this guy, I mean, lunatic, absolute lunatic. I wonder though, you know, like, because he seems like a young guy, he's relatively well-spoken, seems like he might be a smart guy. Supposedly he's like a high school dropout or a college dropout or something, because these groups kind of, I guess, reached out to him. They were like, hey, you want to be the young guy who, you know, you can be the young guy to the 90-year-olds who follow our propaganda channels. But I kind of wonder, like, what's his real deal? Like, you know, if you're out with a couple people and maybe you get a few drinks in Charlie Kirk, does he actually believe any of this stuff? Is this straight up just like a sad, cynical money-making thing? He couldn't think of another way, like another business to start or something, that he has to kind of like fight what must be the alarm bells in his brain that he's lying to people and tricking people and getting in trouble for it, as he should. Does he really believe this stuff? I mean, is there any sense of morality? Is there any sense of duty or being a grown-up to this at all? I really wonder. I wonder about these guys. You know, I mean, because he seems like there's that guy Ben Shapiro who's clearly, I think there's some loose wiring. I think there's some problems. I think there's some issues going on there. I mean, even in the presentation. Like, if you just watch that guy, like, I see clips on Twitter of that dude, and it's just like, something's not. Dude's probably traumatized by something, or there's something wrong with him. But this guy seems more normal, right? Like, he seems like he could be, like, a normal dude and not a total cretin. It almost seems like just the talking points are just kind of, like, maybe they wired him up. Maybe he's an android or something. He's like a bot. He's like an AI or something. But, yeah, and for him, I don't know. Maybe that's a good option for anybody out there who's like, I kind of want to get famous, but I have some moral compass. Maybe do this for a while. Do this for like 2 years. Suck down that Coke money, you know, that oil money, whatever. That's funding guys like Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro and all these guys. Take it for like 2 years, and sane people will tweet at you. They'll be like, hey, you're an idiot and all this. And then 90-year-old racist will be like, I love you. You're a nice young man. And weird incels and stuff will like you and all that. And then after 2 years, you save all that money. You just live in like a studio apartment. You save all that money, and then 2 years later, you go, you know what? I had a DMT experience. You go on Joe Rogan, you do DMT with him, and you're like, when I did that DMT, the clockwork elves said to me, you got to stop what you're doing, and it's all a lie. And then you expose the Koch brothers, and you write a bunch of books and stuff, and you rip up all their NDAs and all that stuff, and then it's like a redemption narrative. You know what I mean? That's what I would do. So I don't know. Charlie Kirk seems like a normal enough guy. He seems like there's a nice guy in there somewhere. There's a normal human being in there somewhere. So who knows? Maybe we'll see a nice little narrative twist where he gets he gets away from the dark side. He goes on the right path.